Welcome to an episode of Subconscious Realms. I'm your host, Jeff, tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, this lady Lee's going. It is a true honor speaking with her. Yes, again. Please welcome the host and creator of Hermes Risen and the YouTube channel DJ Elliot, Debbie Elliott. Now then, Debbie.
Hi, General Lee. Good to be back. This is number 3 for us.
Yes, thank you. It is, yeah. Number 3.
3 is a magic number.
I'll tell you what, it is. It is that, and you know something. When we've spoken about what would make fascinating for our listeners, we have so many options, but we narrowed it down to what we both, I guess, fascinating to us. You know, I can't wait for this. This particular topic is it's one I've always been interested in. It it's one of those. It's the right individual. All hail, Debbie. This is you. That, you know, I've said this before, Debbie. You know, I respect everybody who researches, no matter what technique they use or what path they want to take. I respect everybody for that, because I know it takes time, and it's one of those. You know, it's support, and when you get the right support from a guest such as yourself. But a long story. You do have true knowledge. You're not just somebody that can read well. Which, I mean, somebody who can read well, I respect that too. But there is a clear distance. It cleared in somebody who can read well and somebody who has true knowledge. I think you know what you know what I mean, don't you?
Well, being able to read, I think, is a really important part of somebody's spiritual or soulful path anyway. Yeah. There's so much work out there that needs to be read and then taken in and thought about and pondered upon. And I know people like to be told what to know, but we have to verify things for ourselves always, which I love researching anyway.
Yeah.
You're breaking up, General Lee. Should I tell you that?
Oh, sorry.
You're sounding like a Dalek.
I feel sound like Davros.
Yes, you do, and you're going to go and exterminate the world.
If only. I'll be well after them deeds. Yes. Yes. So Debbie, right, enough. I've probably just chatted a little bit of bullshit then. But anyway, I think we should let's get ready for Eliphas Levi.
Yeah, interesting character.
Yes, very. And am I wrong in this? I'm sure I read that Aleister Crowley, he was thought that he was a reincarnated Eliphas Levi, along those lines.
Yes, but the problem is,
I'm not sure. Is that something you've read or heard of?
No, he does say that. Crowley does say that. But the thing is, Crowley was born 6 months before Eliphas Levi died. So not that I'm saying I'm a soul expert or reincarnation expert, but I don't quite get how that would work if if Levi was still walking the planet when Crowley was a little baby. But maybe that is possible. Maybe someone could die and go and jump into somebody's body that's already alive. I don't know. And I've checked this. I've checked the dates, and other people have as well. And yeah,
Crowley so he did say that. Yeah.
Yeah, he does say that.
I don't know what to say to that one, Crowley. What do you think of that, pal? I don't know.
And I was trying to look up why he thought that, and I wonder if he just thinks that maybe he was Crowley saw. I mean, not Crowley. I mean, Eliphas Levi saw as he was passing through the void after his death in his ether body. Maybe he saw little baby Crowley and thought, "What a wonderful magician that's going to be! I must jump into his body."
Well, yeah. I think that's one. That one that's been ticked off. So yeah, Crowley, we're not having that, Alistair. Sorry, pal.
Please don't curse us, Alistair.
Yeah.
But he did much admire Eliphas Levi, and obviously he read all his books and understood all the dogmas and rituals that Levi put into his work. And I think Crowley probably tried to do them himself, perhaps copy them, and then add a bit of his own stuff to it, because that's the thing with magic. It should always be unique. With these people that copy everybody else and then don't have the same results, that's because magic, I think, can only be done once, and then the next time it's being performed, it needs a little twist to it, that whoever's performing it's got to add their own little spark or inspiration to it that just changes it that little bit, because magic should be personal, really.
Like you're saying, unique to it, to the practitioner.
And
if it's only to be used once, or I can only be done once, then yes,
in that style, in that
raises,
way.
Yeah. At that level as well, they're not just Paul Daniels magic magicians. These are legit true magicians.
Yeah, it's not stage magic like Paul Daniels.
I highly respect anybody at that level.
So he is amazing. I'd love to be able to do his tricks, Paul Daniels' tricks, or even Tommy Cooper's.
Not a lot. Tommy Cooper. Oh, he's a madman. Yeah. Do you know?
Can you do stage magic?
Debbie,
can you do any?
Me?
Yeah.
I can make a liquid vanish via a straw quickly. Is that magic?
Very basic.
Do you know what
magic.
I mean? Like you can make basic, simple magic for a simple person.
Naive but happy.
Yes. With the likes of like Eliphas Levi, where did he get his inspiration from to proceed with his path on magic?
Well,
do you know that?
Yeah, because he started off as a Christian priest and went on to become a monk, and I think he got quite involved in perhaps some of the more esoteric versions of the Christian books that are out there at that time. And he probably looked at people like Agrippa was a Christian priest and worked magic as well. He was a bit of a sorcerer, and I think Eliphas Levi, it led him into deeper things. But then he also knew a woman. Sorry. Yep. Can you hear me okay?
Can you hear me, Debbie?
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you lose connection?
Sorry, the connection's not the best. Yeah, we're back now. I didn't stop recording though. I just left it running because it's one of those. It's said the connection's pants. probably the best way to describe it. Shit. Sorry for swearing, love.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. So as with regards to we mentioned about where did Eliphas get his inspiration from?
So yeah, I was saying about how he started off being a priest and was looking into I think the deeper side of Christianity, more esoteric. But he also met this lady, this mystic woman, and her name was, I hope I'm saying this right, Madame Guyon, which was spelled G-U-Y-O-N. I think French that would be Guyon, something like that. But and
sounds like a chicken strip, like a Guyon.
Yes. Well, she's known as what has started the quietism movement, where they'd all sit in quietness.
Quietism.
Yeah, and have to sit in.
Silence is golden.
That's it. Yes, silence is indeed golden.
Silence is golden.
Yeah, and speaking is silver-tongued, if you know the craft.
Depends how you look.
So she was teaching him how to sit and kind of ponder life, the universe, and at the same time connect with your higher self and the divine that's out there, and perhaps going on to the rest of the hierarchy of angels and such things. And I think from that he then gathered, like Levi realized that there was more to a spiritual soulful path than just following Christian ritual, and he started to get results from that kind of thing. Because let's face it, when you go to religion and you're told what to think, you're told what to do.
Yeah.
They don't like it that you go and do your own thing. And in fact, this Madame Guyon was suddenly seen as a heretic because she'd started this quietism movement. I think it made Levi suddenly realize, oh, I can find God myself. I don't need this church.
Yeah.
Because originally
I think she sounds a little bit.
Sorry.
Sorry, no, go on. I'll say this for you. Love.
Well, originally Eliphas Levi's name was Alphonse Constant, and when you go through a transformation like that, from you want to become a new version of yourself and go on to higher things, you normally take on a new name, and that's how the name Eliphas Levi come about. And the Levites in Judaism were the ones that were sort of the holders of the book. They were the ones that gave the priestly rites and such like. And Eliphas, I wonder if that came from perhaps
Has it?
Oh, go on.
I thought you cut off again then, Debbie. Apologies.
Oh no, I think it's you that keeps cutting off. Sorry to blame it on you. But I think it's still recording.
Yes, it's still recording. As long as it's still recording, and I can't hear. Yeah, thanks, Debbie. Sorry.
I know you've spoken to, I've listened to some of your other shows where you've talked to people that have been in magical societies and groups, and they've said about, when you join these kind of things, you're given your magical name, or you start with, because you want to do a new version of yourself. You give yourself a new name. So that's why Eliphas Levi took on this name, where before he was known as Alphonse Constant, because he was a Frenchman. So, that's why it's Alphonse Constant, probably Constant with a French language.
Yeah, it's like, am I correct to assume it's almost like I guess being reborn under a different name?
Yes.
You see a lot of celebrity like musicians where they kind of take that persona over, don't they?
Yeah, it's like you're leaving your old life behind so that you could go on and be this new performer, whether it's a performer of magic or music or performer of some kind. You take on a new name. I must admit, I dallied with starting with a new name when I started my YouTube channel, and then and I was going to do all this new art, and I made all this new art, and I was going to use this new name, and then I signed everything DJ Elliott instead of the new name I was going to use, which I'm not going to tell anyone what it is now, but it was really weird. I just forgot to put the new name in.
Well, you can change it whenever you want, Debbie. That's the old that's the gift of having your own show.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's so many people. So many people have a pseudonym. I mean, I've got one. I just think it's for me. I just thought it was a little bit of common sense, because you know how people are when the slightest thing you can say out of context, and especially with, like, when you've got a podcast and you covering controversial topics, people judge you. People don't know you, but they'll still judge. And it's like your workplace. I think one of the main reasons for not putting me proper name on it was common sense. I just
No, I
don't think it
understand
will
that.
be a good move.
Mm.
I mean, you know who I am. Those people who really know me think I'm not. They're the people I trust.
But most
You know,
people that would throw shit at you, they're all these trolls that hide behind avatars and are using fake names anyway. I find it hilarious. They won't even put on their real face or give their real name when they sit there heckling us on YouTube or on the all the other places that we put our stuff up. I think it's outrageous.
I agree. It is, certainly is, Debbie.
But at least be honest as
It
to who you
certainly is.
are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why I appreciate the relationship that we have. I mean, we've not known each other for too long, but whenever we speak, Debbie, it's always positive, and I always learn something from you every time we speak. And I think that's what makes this community so intriguing to me. Because it's like you get it's like it's almost like a bond with creatives, and it's special. It's special when I speak to you, because you really are really are extraordinary, Deborah.
Oh, thank you very much.
I love
Well, you are
speaking
good
to
to
you.
put on all these shows. You do fantastic shows.
Thank you very much.
With other people as well. I mean, you get some great people
Yeah.
speaking about subjects. Like you say, many people want to put this kind of thing down, but those that are really interested appreciate the work that we're doing, you and I are doing, and other people are doing, because there's a great awakening happening, even more so in the last few years. And these people want to learn about people from the past that have had to go through the same kind of path, and learn from them. Okay, we have to blaze our own path forwards, but we need to know what other people did, so we can make sure we don't make mistakes or make the mistakes they did, or learn from their mistakes, and they can guide us on to encourage us that we're doing the right thing. Because, as you say, people want to poo-poo us all the time. How dare they?
They do. I don't understand why certain people are like that way.
Because they're threatened. They're threatened because they can't think for themselves.
I love that. Yeah. It's like truth really does hurt.
Yeah. And it's rocking their boat. So if they feel like they've got to say something horrible, then something inside them is grating. And maybe it's the truth trying to niggle at them to make them wake up. But we've also got to remember that government sends trolls as well. There's paid trolls out there to try and bring people like us down.
Yeah. You'd think that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's free knowledge. Having you and I.
Oh, you there? You've broken up again.
Yes, I mean, is it broken up again?
Yeah, just then, just as you started speaking, you're back again now. Yeah, I can see when it happens, all the lights come on the Skype, and then you come back again.
The lights, that's weird, that, isn't it?
Yeah. But Eliphas Levi himself, he got poo-pooed, let's say, or heckled by people all the time because he was bringing out stuff that they didn't want.
Poo-pooed.
Poo-pooed. People are poo-pooing people for trying to be true.
Yeah. I love that. I love it. Yeah.
Because he wrote the book, The Bible of the Free, or was it The Bible of the Liberated? And he was trying to encourage people to go forth and find things for yourself. You don't need to go and listen to your church priests. And that kind of really annoyed them.
I bet that went down well.
And that's what we're doing.
Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them.
Don't go to church. You don't need to. Find God within. And that's what all these hecklers and people that attack us are the same kind of thing. They don't want to be told that they can go do things for free. It's a threat to them because it makes them realise how lazy they are. But they just want to live like a robot, do what they're told.
Yeah, don't go to that church. Read one of my grimoires instead.
Yes, exactly.
Eat a couple of candles.
Don't listen to the BBC. Go and listen to General Lee's podcast.
I saw it. I love that. Quality.
But it's because we're trying to encourage people, aren't we, between us and others like us, to do things for yourselves and be free. How dare we want to be free? I think you've disappeared again, haven't you?
You know, and Davros is back.
Yeah, you have. You turned into Davros.
Is that better now, Deborah?
Yes.
Oh, he's a good dude, Davros. Uncle Davros.
But one of the things
we could do.
Go on. Yeah.
So we could do with a Davros.
Well, we could do with a Time Lord as well, really. If you're Davros, that makes me Doctor Who.
Love it. Love it.
It's funny because we're both laughing quite a bit, but I had a quote from Eliphas Levi, if you don't mind. I'm just going to read it to you because Eliphas Levi says, laughter is forbearance. Laughter is philosophy. The heavens clear when they laugh, and the great secret of divine omnipotence resides in an eternal smile. And it's so true, isn't it? We feel so much better when we laugh and when we smile. And all these hecklers I was talking about earlier, they're probably the ones that are sitting there miserable in their little homes in front of their computer, hiding behind their avatar with a straight face and whatever up their backside, where we're trying to laugh and be free.
Yes. It's it's not me laughing. It's the first time I smiled today when I started speaking to you, Deborah.
Well, at least I've made someone smile.
That. Yeah, I appreciate it. I really do.
But I know there's also a lot of trouble in the world, and there are reasons not to smile, especially in the time we're living at the moment. There's so many disasters going on out there, war and earthquakes and things like that. But if you're not actually personally involved in it, you've got to make the most of your life and not be sucked in by the TV of all these poor people and feeling all down for them. We've got to do what we can. We can send prayers, we can meditate on the situations to send down higher powers, but at the same time we've got to make sure we stay light-hearted in ourselves.
This is that's lovely. Thank you. So at the start, I'm always honoured to be speaking to you. Follow our conversations. Every single episode is a killer episode. So you are a true gift, Deborah.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's just passing on knowledge, really.
Yeah. Yeah, in a very understanding way. I think that's part of your gift, having that ability to be able to truly explain it in a way that everybody can understand.
And hopefully work with.
You present.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Yes, you present yourself very well.
Because we was talking earlier about people changing their names. People also put on masks, and we all put on masks to try and get through life, obviously. But I think one of the main things about esoteric paths and working on yourself is we're trying to remove that mask and be the real person that we are. And deep down, we're kind, loving, happy souls. We're just put down by society, put down by the cabal that runs this universe, you know, put down by demonic forces. And we must raise ourselves up above it. And I know it's, you know, we hear it everywhere of, you know, Buddha says about it, oh, we've just got to not be attached to things. We've got to understand that our desires are the things that bring us down. But if we can let go of all that, though, you know, many of us, we all know we need money for food, we need money for rent, and it's hard in this kind of world. But it's easier to find them things when we're feeling more one with ourselves and got an inner peace inside ourselves. And when we've got a, you know, I'm not saying you put a smile on your face and you go out and you'll get what you want, but if you're feeling more uplifted, things will come towards you more than if you're down in the dumps, black cloud over you, you will bring more black clouds towards you. Like attracts like kind of thing. And people will boo me for this and say, oh, it's so easy for you to say that. Well, I've had to work on myself for many, 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 many years to get to that. But it's down to every different person. One person might suddenly pick this up and think, oh, yeah, that's how to do it, and change their whole life. You know, it's one of the things I always recommend to people is Louise L. Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, which encourages you to look at why you feel down. What is it that's putting you down, and how to lift yourself up, or how to turn, as they say, turn that frown around. Because we let things get to us and we want to suffer, but we need to not let that suffering drag us down deep down into the depths. We want to be instead raising ourselves up.
I love that, Deborah, and I couldn't agree anymore.
And I know some people like to do it through magic. Well, magic doesn't have to be a spell where you go and, you know, call up a demon or anything like that. Magic can be working on yourself of, I'm going to make myself feel better in myself. I'm going to turn all the, you know, our cells in our body, they all respond to how we're feeling. You know, we're like something like 70-80% water, and that's all can be worked upon with our thoughts. If we're feeling down, then water cells inside us and all the other cells inside of us will feel that throughout our body. But if we try to lift ourselves up, that will start working all the other cells in our body and will move through our body and make us feel better in ourselves.
Yeah, I love that, Debbie, and spot on for me. Spot on.
I suppose one of the things, like we was talking about grimoires earlier, a lot of grimoires, we can make our own grimoires with uplifting, positive mantras and say them over and over, even if it's just in our heads. You know, I used to be, me and my friend that used to do mantras would walk around going to meet each other across the park, one from one end, me from the other end, and we'd both be saying our little mantras under our voice. And how many people probably thought, look at them two talking to themselves, until we met. But you know, there's nothing wrong with walking around and quietly under your breath. You know, like one of my favorites is the Om Mani Padme Hum mantra. Om Mani Padme Hum. You know, if you say it enough, it starts revert. Sorry,
I'll tell you what, right? I
Om Mani Padme Hum.
I mean, yeah. you? I mean, the reason I found it was I used to watch quite a lot of, that Asian, Japanese, like extreme cinema,
Yeah.
and that kind of thing sort of went
Did you grow up
brilliant.
on
But I don't.
Monkey? Did you used to watch Monkey, Journey to the West?
Tripitaka.
Yes.
Tripitaka.
Monkey.
Yes,
Great
that's
sage,
it.
equal to heaven.
Monkey.
Those kinds of programs we were so lucky to grow up with, because then ideas were being put into us at that young age. And children should be watching Monkey and such like, rather than Teletubbies.
I don't. If anybody's not familiar with a series called Monkey, what was out in, what was it, 80s? It was out.
Well, I watched it in the 70s.
I think it was 80s, wasn't it?
70s.
Well, 70s.
Yeah,
right.
but
Well,
we were
I
lucky.
was born,
It's shown
born in 77. Oh, it was definitely repeat. I only wish it was on that. But saying that, have you seen the remake sort of?
Well, on Netflix.
Yes.
See, I don't like all these remakes when they change the storyline and change the characters. Yeah. I think that was an inversion of because the book is amazing, and the programs we were talking about that we watched as children, that was true to the book. But it's like an inversion that they were doing. Yes, the ones we grew up with.
I didn't know that.
Because Monkey's always looking to be finding redemption, isn't he? And so are the others, Pigsy and Fishman, and Tripitaka's always been the Buddha not the Buddha, she was a Bodhisattva, I think, or he. It was all about getting the holy books across the country, wasn't it?
I like your little he.
Well, it was meant to be a he, but they had a lady play the part. But in Netflix,
yes, I was going to say it was meant to be a dude, but it wasn't.
Yes, but she was fantastic as Tripitaka.
Oh yes, yeah.
But the new series has inverted it all, and I'm seeing this happening a lot with a lot of the sacred old stories that have an esoteric tale to them. They're trying to take away the true meaning and the magic of what them books and stories were about. So I poo-poo Netflix's new version. And I tell everyone to go and watch the 70s.
Yes. You know something, David? I'm gonna have to get stuck in back on Monkey.
Well, I know it was on London Live channel for us in the UK for a while, and they keep putting it back on every few months. London Live. So you might catch it on there again soon.
Well, if you get the chance, it's not really. What I'm trying to say is, if you get the chance to send or find a link, and you send me a link to this London Live, I'll try and watch it through that method.
Okay then. Yeah.
But I'll tell you what. Hang on a minute.
Well, while you're doing that, one thing I think is really important about the Monkey series we're talking about that we grew up with is when you watch it again, you start looking out for the statues of the Buddha. There's always a statue of a Buddha somewhere in the scene. Oh, not in all the scenes, but it became a bit of a thing that me and a few other people that were studying Buddhism at the time, when we started noticing it and we started watching all the episodes, it's like, so they're trying to put subliminally the Buddha into your mind, which is fantastic, obviously, because Buddha achieved enlightenment, and that's what hopefully will help us work on ourselves. Where this new Netflix series has very little proper esoteric subliminal messages in it.
Yeah. I think it's a fascinating series, and it really is. It's brilliant. I loved that as growing up as a kid.
Yeah, and what a character for us.
I look at it like.
Oh, sorry, go on.
No, I'm just thinking that we didn't have much back then with regards to television. and shows. So a monkey was huge in this country anyway. Huge.
Well, he was like a rebel, wasn't he? He's a rebellious character. So we got
Yeah.
quite caught up with that, because I'm a bit of a rebel myself. But at the same time, he was being shown the way to part, and he wanted to achieve redemption. He wanted to make himself better. And Pigsy was a bit like, oh, I don't really want to do this, but I'll go along with it. Where's the birds and the food?
He was born idle once. He was lazier than a camel in a sandstorm, Pigsy. Just eating all the time and probably shitting everywhere. And again, are you making me swear today, Debbie?
But do you remember this? When Monkey used to go to get his cloud so he could fly around.
That is probably, it's like a whistle he did, wasn't it?
It was, wasn't it? Sorry, I've just remembered this will be audio only, but he used to do the finger. So that was magic, wasn't it? He used to do the finger symbol across his mouth and then do a whistle, and his flying cloud would turn up and take him to wherever he wanted to go.
He could go anywhere, that dude. Anywhere. Do you know, I didn't, obviously, you're a kid, you don't realise, but I didn't realise that Monkey, this particular entity, that was a god, was a true god for the Asians.
Yeah, they all were. But the problem with Monkey was he then decided to go and overthrow heaven, and that's where he went wrong, and that's why he was imprisoned under the rock, because he wanted to take it. He was a great sage, equal to heaven. He thought he was equal to heaven, and he had to learn.
Am I? Yeah. Am I? Confused. Do you see links own entity that rebelled against heaven?
Absolutely.
Came to earth. Fell to earth.
Exactly. Yeah.
Beginning with S.
Or L. It was actually Lucifer that led the war in heaven. Yes, there is, isn't there? So this story has been with us for a long, long, long time, and in different cultures. So something went on in heaven in the past, and every culture's got a story that goes with it. But there is some kind of link where, Lucifer was the light bringer. Monkey is kind of like, we always see monkeys as kind of funny, mischievous characters, and Lucifer was seen as that as well. But to have that ego so big that they both think that they can take over heaven, and then they had to be reprimanded for it. And both are sent to, thrown out. And then one wonders, go on, yeah.
That's this is what I mean. Back then, I had no clue. Obviously, I was a kid, so you're not going to have a clue. But I don't at all remember my parents mentioning anything. But they probably weren't into that kind of thing back then. I don't think many people were, actually. You say it's different times, isn't it?
They just saw it as a fun children's show that kept us amused.
Yeah.
Well, I think, like I was saying, it's probably subliminally going into our subconscious to keep us awakened to wake up as we got older, or to stay on a spiritual, soulful path. People like us that watched Monkey as a child, I know many, 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 and they're all ones that have continue to have a little bit of an interest in perhaps Buddhism or gods or deities or monkey god or animal deities, because that's been put into us, and then that continues. You read the book when you're older, and you suddenly realize what that book was all about, which was, like I was saying, taking the holy books across Asia, wasn't it? That's why it was Journey from the East. They were bringing from the East the holy books to the West to try and, sort us, the barbarians of the West.
Yeah, true. It's fascinating. Do you remember a series called The Water Margin?
Well, that was before it, wasn't it? But I do remember
before it was.
in the books, it's a story before Journey to the West, but it's all connected in a way. But the water margin was fantastic as well. But as a child, I didn't really understand it, but I couldn't stop watching it.
Yeah, the same goes. I mean,
oh, you're breaking up again.
Sorry, love. Yeah, I think with water margin, I mean, I only seen them as on repeats when they're on BBC Two. It was BBC Two or Channel 4, something like that. And I think they were on like Sunday afternoon. I loved it just as much as Monkey, but I don't think it had the same impact for. Still, I loved it.
Well, it had quite
The water margin of Long Shang Po, I think it was something like that.
Yes, and it had kind of like, obviously for us as children, we didn't understand that way of living or that culture, but it made us aware of them, didn't it? And made us aware that there was a different way, people lived in a different way to us Westerners, but there was still a kind of more of a compassionate theme, wasn't it? Because it was still based on a Buddhist teaching story, so it was still trying to teach us how to be compassionate to all beings. Yet at the same time, it had all the martial arts and the kung fu, which we all loved, because we were all kung fu fighting.
Kung fu. I love that. How's it go again, David? Did you just do a little kung fu kick? Wah!
But we were, you know, that was the time of Bruce Lee, and Bruce Lee brought the east to the west again. And his book on aphorisms, I can't recommend enough to people. He had such a wonderful understanding of how to work on oneself, one's body, one's heart, and one's mind. And not many people know about this little book of aphorisms he did. Obviously, he brought us the Tao of Yeet Kung Do, you know, his way of fighting. But to understand the way of his fighting, you needed to understand the philosophy as well.
Yeah, he's a very, very interesting individual. I don't know, you know, like what's really happened to him. It's a shame, but I think there's a lot we didn't know about him. No, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, I think that people wanted to prevent any form of progression or philosophy, we should say, of Bruce Lee. And I think he wasn't with us for long enough. I don't doubt. And well, for his son as well.
Yes, exactly, because he was bringing us a way of thinking for ourselves. And I've just realised something. I'm just going to stand up for a minute, and this is going to freak you out. But I know this is an audio show, but you've seen my T-shirt. I can't believe we were talking about. I've got a monkey T-shirt on. This is. Did you?
Seriously, I can't. Yeah, that's monkey. I can't see it. Jeet Kune Do. Is it? Have you got a Jeet Kune Do T-shirt?
Monkey was made into a musical by Damon Albarn from Blur.
I do like Damon Albarn, actually.
So yeah, that's why I've got. I can't believe I'm wearing a monkey T-shirt from his.
Could stand up again, please, Debbie.
Sorry,
Debbie, could you stand up again, please?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh, hold on. So this is.
Where did you get that from?
Well, from the show that Damon Albarn put on Monkey. So he had, you know, like the gorillas, the cartoonist. He did.
Yeah, I do like gorillas.
Yeah, isn't that weird that I put that T-shirt on today? But going back to Bruce Lee, obviously.
Yeah, Bruce Lee. I love that T-shirt.
Bruce Lee's philosophy was freeing people, wasn't it? And it was making people realize that they can be an individual and express themselves. Like his book's actually called The Art of Expressing the Human Body. He wanted to help people to go forward. Like if you feel good in your body and you feel good in your mind, then you will feel good in everything that you do.
Yeah.
And the cabal of this world don't want people thinking for themselves or feeling good, because who knows what that could lead to. Well, it leads to freedom and liberation out of the system.
Yes, it does.
And so he probably was a threat, and he was influencing a lot of very famous people at that time as well. A lot of the big actors and musicians were coming to him for private lessons, so he was helping them to open up to these kind of pathways. And once you start doing that kind of thing, because I know lots of people go for their martial arts exercises, which is great, go and do that, do your tai chi, do your kung fu, do your jiu-jitsu, but you also need to understand the philosophy behind it all, because the most important thing is that the philosophy, the main philosophy also is, again, compassion, and that you should never really be raising your fist to anyone. It should all be defense. These martial arts are taught to you for defense mode, for when someone attacks you. You never go out and attack someone else, because you're supposed to be, a compassionate person, and you should be able to settle any kind of trouble or argument through being verbal. Bruce Lee was very adamant about that. We don't go and, just because someone's pissed you off, you don't go and do a wah-ha-wah and, karate chop them. You try and talk them down and try and talk sense. That's why we speak. No more kung fu fighting.
I love it. Never. We're going to have to get these sound clips and store them. Oh, quality. I love it. I love it. I wonder if Eliphas Levi sounds in French.
He did magical invocations with sound.
Sorry. If there's any French listeners, I hope there is. I hope you can understand me at least. But it would sound very, very creepy and weird if a French person had any form of attack, an attack sound like Debbie's just done. Please, if you do, send the clip in so we can play it.
It'd be wah, ooh la la, wah. But Eliphas Levi actually Eliphas Levi actually lived in England for a long time, so he spoke very good English.
Right. Oh, what about it? I'm guessing, was it London? I'm guessing.
Yes, it was, yeah. Because he used to teach a lot of people, his private, have one-to-ones with people, of teaching them magic and such like, and invocations and things. Because a lot of people know him for the statue of Baphomet. I meant to get my statue of Baphomet down, but he's in a box over there and I can't get him out now. But you know who Baphomet is? Yeah.
Oh, the symbol of balance.
Yes, he is a symbol of balance, and I'm glad you know that, because most people say to me, "But the devil," and he's not the devil at all. He is the symbol of balance.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, I know, because you see, when you say that to people, they can't accept it. This is the thing, Debbie. People don't like being wrong. I make so many mistakes. I don't claim to be an expert in anything, but I make mistakes and I learn. Like I said, every episode I do, I'm always learning from the guests. I have a lot of respect for everybody who comes on. Everybody.
And I have respect for people that admit they're wrong. When they don't want to admit that they're wrong, that's ego.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't like it, do they? But yeah, I mean, we haven't really spoke on the Baphomet at this level anyway. Not yet. I think I'm still sticking to what what I believe anyway, and that is the symbol of balance. Even though you can look at it in a dark way, you could look at it in a light way, really.
Mm-hmm.
Again, as above, so below.
Exactly, because he's even got the hands doing one up, one down, one up to the stars, one down to the earth. And as you know, there's many male and female, all the male and female body parts. Okay, it's a goat head. You know, he's also known as the goat of Mendes. I've actually got here, it's a bit of a long quote if you want. Yeah, it's known as the goat of Mendes.
Please.
So this is Eliphas Levi's quote of why he made the Baphomet statue. So he says, the goat on the front piece carries the sign of the pentagram on the forehead with one point at the top, a symbol of light, his two hands forming the sign of Hermeticism, the one pointing up to the white moon of Chesed. So this is Kabbalah here, because he's very into his Kabbalah, you know, the Jewish tree, the Jewish Kabbalah tree.
Right.
So he says,
is this the tree of life?
Yes. And it starts at the bottom with Malkuth, which is earth, and goes up to God, which is Keter Elohim. So Levi's put this.
Elohim.
Yeah, Elohim's Keter Elohim is the gods. It is the gods. It's plural.
Nice one.
So he's saying one's pointing to the white moon of Chesed, and that's love, Chesed, and the other pointing down to the black one of Geberu, which I believe is judgment. This sign expresses the perfect harmony of mercy with justice, and that is really important in life. Like we were talking earlier about people fighting just for the sake of fighting, but we need mercy and justice to help bring, you know, to stop fighting. We need justice to make sure that everything's a level playing field, and we need mercy to forgive those that do wrong. Everybody deserves a redemption, and everybody deserves some mercy if they are aware of what they've done wrong. When they're not aware of what they've done wrong, that's a different thing. When they're adamant that what they've done, which we know is wrong, but they think is right, you know, like let's say pedophilia or something. And a guy, you know, I've not met many people. I've seen many shows where pedophiles talk about, you know, bring down the age of when you can have sex with youngsters, which is not a good thing at all. But they believe in their selves that what they're doing is okay. Well, we know that's wrong. Well, that's a different way of dealing with it. I'm not sure how one works with that, obviously, you know.
Clearly a problem, isn't it?
Yeah. But when someone knows that they're wrong, that can be given mercy. That person can be given mercy and justice.
Yeah, I love that.
But he also goes on to say, his one arm is female, the other male, like the ones of the Adrenine. And he attributes these to unite those of our goat because he is the one and the same symbol, which is a bit confusing. But he's in the olden days, the goat was known as, could be used as a scapegoat as well. There was all these different rites where everybody's sins were taken by the priest and put into a goat, and that goat would then be slaughtered or set free to go and wander the wilderness. And that's where we get the term scapegoat. So there's something about goats taking everybody's sins on. And I think that's what he's trying to relate to here. And he goes on to say, the flame of intelligence shining between his horns. So he's got two horns at the top of his head, and there's a flame. And this is the flame of intelligence. Shining between his horns is the magic light of the universal balance. And you was talking about it all being the symbol of balance. And what is balance? Male and female coming together in a balanced way.
In harmony, maybe, as one.
Yes.
We are as one. I mean, it's one of the most powerful things when you get two like-minded individuals together. Well, capabilities, if it looks at as endless, really, can't they?
Absolutely. Well, he goes on to say, actually, he says that the image of the soul elevated above matter as the flame, whilst being tied to matter, shines above it. So, you know, we are all reaching to go upwards, but when we're caught up in this material world, we're pulled down into matter, but we're trying to reach up to the divine, to the heavens, to our higher self. And our soul is, nobody really knows where the soul is, but I think he's trying to say here the soul is above us, that we're trying to reach up to.
Yeah.
Where have you ever thought about where the soul is? Where do you think it is? It's not a trick question because no one knows the answer, but I find it interesting.
I believe it's within. I think we seek is probably the opposite of what we believe.
Mm-hmm.
Like as if, like, I mean, I believe everything's a huge misconception anyway. I mean, it's especially with when there's like dark occultism. I think this is the misconception. It's just my opinion, David. I'm most likely wrong, but it's just my theory, I guess. I think it is within ourselves.
I agree with that, and everyone's allowed an opinion.
If that makes sense.
Yes, it does. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, the soul's definitely a part of us, Though Steiner says it's in the etheric body, and that the dark ball will try and make a vaccine that will, or something like that in the future, that will disconnect our etheric body from us, and that will take our soul away.
Yeah.
But many people won't notice because they don't pay attention to their soul, where people like you and me, we do, and hopefully your listeners do. Otherwise they wouldn't be listening to your show. They must have a soul in them because they want to help.
So I love that, Debbie. Thank you. Yeah. I think I appreciate every single person that listens to Subconscious Realms. I won't be doing it if it wasn't for the listeners. They feel so much passion. I love them all. Every single guest what comes on. I have so much respect for everybody who has that. I'd say drive, because it's not easy. It's not easy getting on and discussing some of these subjects. I really do appreciate everybody who listens and joins, because at the end of the day, Subconscious Realms wouldn't exist if it wasn't for everything.
And for us to go on this path, we need to go into our subconscious realm. So it's a fantastic title.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, something different. So I'll just try and keep the show as unique as I can. It's not easy. The easiest thing to do is follow suit, but what everybody else is playing, and unfortunately, a lot of shows. Again, I'm not calling any other show. I'm just explaining how I see things and probably how they see things as well. If the easiest thing to do is copper, or for example, one other podcast, they'll talk about UFOs. It's a subject it's unavoidable. But how I would do it is try and just make it a little bit different. Like, because it's like I said, it's easy to follow suit and copper.
Mm-hmm.
I like that, a little bit of a challenge where throwing something a little bit weird as well. Something different.
Yes, yeah. That's why I like your shows.
Oh, thank you.
And you have such great guests anyway that do look at things a bit more deeply than, even some YouTube channels that I used to watch that don't go as deep as some of your guests do. So.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I am. I feel blessed having such a wide variety of elite level guests. I mean, look at you, Debbie.
I do what I can. But I feel like that it's good that people do these kind of shows. So it's good that we're getting it out there for people that, because there's many people that don't know where to go, what to do, or are stuck somewhere and don't know. They want to know there's other people like them out there, and it encourages them. We're trying to make them feel that they're not alone. We're all in this together. I know some people use the word tribe, some people use the word community. You know, that's what we all are. And we need to help each other, or at least try and put feelers out there for people to think, right, I'll look down that path. Like someone might, like we've just said about Baphomet, they might have before just thought, no, that's a dark entity, but now they're thinking, right, I'll go and have a look at it more and try and understand this scale of balance, because I need to be balanced in myself. Because one thing I do know, where people have tried to use the statue of Baphomet for dark forces or dark things, it's not worked for them, because Baphomet is balance. So if you try to go too much one way, it will pull you back the other way.
It will work, would it?
Like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that a lot of people as well, they won't be able to accept that.
Mm-hmm.
That's genuinely how I see it as well. Your explanation of it, Debbie, is spot on for me.
Mm-hmm.
Still, regardless, though, people still look at it as a negative aspect.
Because they don't understand the symbolism.
Debbie.
And symbolism, they see it as a negative aspect, as you say, because they don't understand all the symbolism on it. The amount of people that just look at a pentagram and go, witch, or, you know, dark magic. But the pentagram itself is actually earth, wind, fire, water, and spirit. You know, it represents the 5 elements. But it's such bad connotations towards symbolism.
It's like I was saying just is the what it actually means. See, because of, I mean, it doesn't help when you get like the Church of Satan using it as if it is something, but it's not. It's like demonizing the meaning of it.
Yes, it's again like we were saying about monkey. They've inverted what the symbolism was all about. Like, you know, like the Nazis.
I mean, back on to.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, well, yeah, with the Nazis and the swastika.
Yeah, you know, that was before a life-giving force symbol, especially in Tibet and a few other places, and they've just taken it. I think they reversed it, though. Sometimes I need to find out if that actually did happen, but you know, they've inverted it in their own way to be a life-giving force for their, what was it, they were an Aryan race, wasn't it, they wanted to bring forth. So they were trying to use that swastika power to help their dreams of what they thought the perfect Superman was. That was it, yes. But it didn't work for them, so because they were trying to invert that symbol.
Yeah.
But a very important symbol that Eliphas Levi used was the peace sign. Did you know that? And you know, here's a Crowley and Levi connection. Winston Churchill needed something to counteract the Nazi salute. And this is where Crowley comes in. Crowley gave Winston Churchill the peace sign as a symbol to counteract it. But originally, Eliphas Levi picked it up. Sorry?
Now, I did not know this. I did not know Victory V. Now, what you just said then, Deborah, I didn't know that Eliphas Levi had this peace symbol before Crowley.
Yeah, it was called the sacerdotal hand. The sacerdotal hand, and he had it, so it was up against a wall. And on the wall would be the shadow of the peace sign. And it does kind of look like a goat and a goat's head, a goat's horns, but it's the peace sign of the hand, the white hand, counteracting or working with, again, balance the darkness of the shadow. It's difficult to do. You need,
wow,
hopefully you could find it to use it as the thumbnail maybe, because it's a wonderful picture.
that would be good.
Yeah. So the peace sign's a really important sign that we still need to keep using, because it counteracts the shadow and make sure people don't start inverting that. We have the doing it the other way around, the two fingers as a 2 fingers up at you.
I've seen that then. I love it. Sneaking at 2 fingers, then I seen that.
I thought I had the quote for the sacerdotal hand, but I can't find it. Maybe it's just disappeared in my where was it? Where did I put it? Because it's quite important that he did this. He's saying that, I see, I found it. The definition of the word sacerdotal is that of a priest relating to the priesthood. The deeper esoteric meaning is that of a superpower or a spiritual power. And this is what, Levi was trying to do, put forth a spiritual power. So in the drawing, the right hand is held up before a wall, backlit, so its shadow plays upon the wall. The hand is given what we call today the peace sign, palm to wall, index and middle finger. It's the words of benediction, and he's got the Hebrew words for Yahweh are written around it. So it's kind of like it's a blessing upon, I think he's saying, evil magic and evil spirits. So if you ever feel that you're being attacked by some dark entity that you can't see, or you just know, I'm sure many of your viewers will know, you get that sense something's not right, something's here, just do that peace sign, and obviously call upon whatever deity you believe in, peace sign it away. Be gone. And then do a little karate chop just to make sure.
And not forgetting, Deborah, you're going to have to throw some sounds, some of your expert kung fu sounds, please. Just give us an example, please.
Be gone! Woohoo! And also, that's another thing in Buddhism. Demons do not like being laughed at, so have a good laugh at the demons. In fact, I put a little video up like that on my YouTube channel recently. The demons do not like being laughed at, and it's not nice to laugh at humans. We want to laugh with people, not at people, but it's okay to laugh at demons when they try to take us over. So be gone, you stupid demonic. Wah! Be gone. And that's magic, as Paul Daniels would say.
Not a lot. I'm sorry to go off topic. Did you ever get one of those Paul Daniels magic sets?
No, because as you know, my name's Debbie. I used to get taken the mickey out of all the time.
Oh shit! Yeah, Debbie. That was his Mrs. name, wasn't it?
Exactly.
They got us together as well. I certainly were.
Yeah, so I was always the assistant. I wasn't allowed to be the magician because I was the real Debbie.
Yeah, they aren't worthy to have you amongst their circles, Debbie.
But I can't deny, as a child, Paul Daniels was entertaining. We might laugh at him now, but as a child, I was quite amazed by what he did.
Was it Saturday night it came on? Was it Saturday or Sunday?
Yeah, one of them, yes.
Yeah, one of them, wasn't it? I'm going to sway towards Saturday. I don't think anybody with half a brain would want to watch Paul Daniels on Sunday.
And he was another one that tried to keep everything uplifted, didn't he? He was always smiling, chirpy, a little twinkle in his eye, and it made people feel good, and it probably made him feel good as well. Have you gone? Are you there? I'm going to bring you back with some magic. General Lee, return. Oh, hey, you're there. I just did some magic to call you back.
Yeah. Yes. Oh shit. Yeah. Paul Daniels. He actually he was like one of the highest ones of the magical order in England. You know.
Yes.
What was it called now? I'm not
The
sure
Magic
what it was called,
Circle.
but
The Magic Circle.
the Magic Circle.
I go past the club quite often.
Oh, is it still going now?
Yeah, Magic Circle's been going for a very long time. Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah, Debbie, can you hear me?
No, you're beginning to break up, but I'm actually going to have to go soon.
Yes, I was just going to say, I'm just checking on the time now. I'm sorry.
I don't know how time went so quickly. I did a quick time check just now. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's as flu. You've completely changed today for me in a positive way.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you very much. And I'm being deadly serious with that. As you know, I spoke to you before we started recording. Thank you. I really, really appreciate speaking to you today, of all days.
Well, I always enjoy chatting with you as well, and I look forward to doing more. So it's always fun.
Yes, yes, it certainly is. I think it's been more fascination for me, Debbie. The way you present your research it's next level. I respect that and you an awful lot, as you know that anyway, though, don't you?
I respect you too, and I respect all the
Thank you,
magicians that went before us.
Thank you. Yeah, respect to Eliphas Levi. I'm sure you'll be listening somewhere.
Yep.
Yes,
And Baphomet. Baphomet always appears when his name's called. He'll be there listening. Hopefully we've done him a good service.
Yes. Thanks a lot again, Debbie. I can't wait till we speak again, but I'll try and get this out in the next couple of days. Well, I will get it out in the next couple of days, actually. I'll just wait till I try and get this. It's like a decent connection because it is pants in this room. I'm sure there'll be another area that'll be all right. But yeah, Debbie, once again, mind blowing. You're just incredible. You really are. Before we go, would you like to let everybody know where they can get hold of you if they've got any questions, etc., and plug your show as well, please?
Well, I have a website, debbie-elliott.co.uk, and there's a contact author there. I've written quite a few books, all with a bit of a theological theme. They're all a bit different, so maybe you'll find something there you'd like to read. And my YouTube channel's DJ Elliott. And I always enjoy having a chat with you, General Lee. I really look forward to next time. Thank you for having me on.
Yes, thank you, dear. Thank you. Like I said, you have completely changed everything today, and thank you. It means an awful lot to me. I can't wait till we speak again. I'm going to start recording now, Debbie, but yeah. Thank you very much, dear.
Thank you.
I'll stop it. No problem, love. No problem. I'm just going to start recording now.